Hello, guys. Welcome back to this channel. My name is Jude, and I am a current Erasmus Mundus student for public health in disaster in Europe. My program run across Spain, Sweden, and Cyprus. In today's video, I'll be talking about an important topic: why you get rejection mails from scholarships. Why you get rejection mails. Rejection mails and scholarship application, they go hand in hand. Everyone who has made an application for a scholarship must have received rejection mails at one time or the other. It is normal, and rejection mail does not mean that you are not good. You are good. Just that a lot of factors come to play before someone is announced a winner of a scholarship or someone gets rejection mail. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to give you tips about the selection criteria for different scholarships and why you get rejection mails. I believe that if you have this information, it's going to guide you. You're going to use it during your scholarship application process, and you're going to use it to avoid some of the mistakes some people do during scholarship application, and then you are going to set yourself up for success. Welcome back, guys. Please, if you are new to this channel, please, I beg you, please do well to subscribe to our channel. And please, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. So let us just get straight to the business of today. One of the reasons why people get rejection mails from scholarship bodies, the number one most important reason there is competition. I'm going to discuss this competition plainly so that you understand. There are limited slots available for most scholarships, both graduate assistant position in the US or whether it's scholarship bodies like the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. There are limited slots, and there is a lot of competition. You have over thousands of candidates applying for just three slots from a country. Okay, for example, in my program, Public Health and Disaster, they need about 3 to 4 persons from Nigeria to apply for this scholarship, to get this scholarship, I mean. Okay, but at the end of the day, the scholarship receives more than 1,000 to 2,000 applications for these 3 to 4 slots. Now you discover that that alone has already, set the pace for about more than 1,000 people to get a rejection mail from this particular scholarship. It doesn't mean that the rest they are not qualified. No, they are very qualified for the program, but the decision makers really have to make the decision to select only 3 candidates or 4 candidates for this scholarship. So you have to have in mind that this is a competition. Let nobody fool you. Scholarship application is a big time competition. So you have to come to the application, race with in mind that this is a competition. So you're going to do the very best for you to get a success mail. So, for example, if 3 people have been selected for this program and you are the fourth person in the list of performance or the list of candidates who performed for this program, automatically the fourth person will get rejection mail. That does not mean that the person is poorly prepared. No, just that the others are more prepared than the person, and because the slots are very limited, the scholarship positions are very limited. So have that in mind. Having that in mind, you are arrange yourself, knowing fully well that there is no room for error. Okay, you have to be up and doing and make sure you get the best out of this application. Another reason why you may be getting rejection mail may be because of your background. Yes, you need to understand that your background, when I mean your background, I'm talking about where you come from. I'm also talking about your academic discipline. Okay, so these two points are what I refer to as background. So your academic discipline and where you come from, maybe you're from Africa or you're from Asia, where you come from, it matters a lot in scholarship application. Most scholarship give their criteria that people from a particular tribe, a particular race, or a particular country are eligible to make applications for this scholarship. Or it may be that these people from this underrepresented tribe or underrepresented ethnic group are given priority. So when making application, you should pay attention to it. Is the reason why I advise people when they are making application, their CV should have their country of origin. It's very important because if a particular country is seen as underrepresented country, or is seen as a country that requires higher priority for their scholarship, it is easier for them to choose you. It's easier for them to identify you. And then you see that you already are at an advantage because this information is clear on your application package. Okay. And another reason may be that your background is not really connected to the program you're applying. You don't just make application because you have the strength to make application. You need to be able to tailor your scholarship application, your background to the scholarship application you are going for. Certain programs prefer people from a specific background. If they tell you they want people from maybe agriculture, they want people in biosciences, they want people in maybe physical sciences, and maybe you are not in any of this area, and you have interest in this particular area, you should be able to look at your CV very well, look at your transcript very well, and make sure that there is a course within your program, there is a course within your 4 years program that tallies with the background that this scholarship is requesting for. And you have to make it clear to them. Okay? If you don't make it clear to them, they're going to see you that you are ineligible for this scholarship and you will get automatic rejection mail. So I advise you look at the program you are going for, look at the program where you are coming from, look at your future career prospect, and make sure they align very well with the scholarship you are applying. If it doesn't align well, there is no need making application when they request for people from a particular background. The next one is what I call the rule break. Okay, when you break the rules of a scholarship body, you are going to be rejected. Many scholarships have their rules, have their criteria, have everything stated out on their website or on their advertisement. You must make sure you follow them. Breaking the rules of any scholarship, you are going to get automatic rejection, no matter how good you are. I remember making application for the Erasmus Mundus program for evolutionary biology, and they requested for language proficiency. They stated it clearly that they want IELTS of a particular band, or TOEFL, or Duolingo, and so many of them. Okay, I didn't have any of them as at that time. Okay, so I applied with my English language proficiency certificate, showing that I studied in English language from my university. I got a rejection mail immediately. And I was lucky enough, the program told me that the reason why they rejected my application was because of incomplete application. They didn't take a look at my CV, they didn't take a look at my motivation letter, a very nice motivation letter that I wrote that time. So they didn't take a look at any of them. So you can be getting rejection mail because you didn't follow the instructions. You didn't read the application criteria very well. Yes, I knew that I didn't have IELTS or TOEFL or any of those English language proficiency tests then. I knew. So, but I submitted my language proficiency from my school. I just gave it a try, okay? And then I got outright rejection on the day the application closed. So you see that some of these applications, some of these scholarship, they have strict rules and they don't joke with it. You have to pay attention to this criteria. Another scholarship rejection me I got because of this rule break was the OKP scholarship. OKP scholarship for public health. So one public health program for the OKP scholarship in Netherlands. They requested that the applicants must have at least 3 years work experience at the managerial level in a hospital. I don't have 3 years work experience in a hospital at the managerial level. However, I have an experience working in a hospital. So because of this eligibility criteria that I didn't meet, they gave me rejection mail on I think about 2 or 3 days after the application closed. You can imagine. So it's an important stuff. You follow the rules. Whatever is the rule of the scholarship body, try as much as possible to follow it, tailor it. And if for any reason you don't meet up to their eligibility criteria, I advise you channel your energy to applications or scholarship that you meet their eligibility criteria. And this process helps you reduce the number of rejection mails you get and increases your chance of success. Another reason why people get rejection mail is because they did not follow the submission format of that particular scholarship. When you're making scholarship application, please pay attention to how they want the application to be submitted. It is very important. If you're applying for that, for example, one of the DAT programs in Germany requested that we submit our application via courier service. Okay, so it was one of the reasons why I didn't complete the application. At first, I didn't know, I didn't pay attention to this, and after the whole process, I submitted the application to the university online. I didn't know that I was supposed to package my application package, print them, and then send them to Germany via courier service. So submitting online alone was not enough. There was need for me to submit physical hard copies of my application package to the university, and that alone cost me to get a rejection mail for that particular scholarship. Another thing you must also know that if you're applying for something like that scholarship, they will tell you they need Europass CV. If your CV is not in Europass format, you will get automatic rejection. These are some of the things you need to know, and these are rule breakers. You should also know that some of the CVs you submit to that, for example, I'm using that as an example. They request that you hand sign on the CV, hand signature, not electronic signature. So when you finish typing your CV and your CV is ready, you should print them and sign and submit. So if you don't hand sign on your CV, that means you are breaking the rule of the scholarship. I'm just using it as an example, including the motivation letter for that scholarship. For those of us that apply for public health, you will see that they request that we hand sign on our scholarship, on our application package, especially the motivation letter, the reference letter, and the CV. The reference letter, of course, your referee has to hand sign. If your referee uses electronic signature, that is already a rule breaker, and you know what it means. So it is important you pay attention to the scholarship criteria and what they request from you. You can be very good. You can have all the beautiful write-ups, beautiful CV content, nice portfolio, and you just get rejected because you didn't obey some of this simple rule. I also, talk about the DAS scholarship a bit because of how the application is. In the that scholarship, one of them they requested that we submit two motivation letter. I didn't see it at first during my application. I submitted one single motivation letter twice. One of the first motivation letter was supposed to be while I am seeking for admission in the university of interest and for the program I was going for. The second motivation letter was to that scholarship while I chose the three different programs I applied for, okay, and in the order of their priority. If you don't follow this submission format, you're going to get rejection. So it is important that you understand this when you are making application. So scholarship application is a lot of work. Pay attention to it and then get it done the way they want you to get it done. Another reason why people get rejection mail may be because of incomplete document. When you make your application, you maybe out of anxiety or out of maybe other reasons, you miss out some important document. I mean, a whole document that you are supposed to upload. You miss out in uploading them, and maybe the website is not programmed to remind you that this particular line is actually missing, and then you end up submitting an incomplete application. So I advise you, when you're making the application, be sure that all the required documents are submitted. Some websites actually reduces this type of error by making some sections compulsory, that you must fill them in, you must put this particular document before you submit your application, whereas sometimes they don't. Okay, for example, if you're applying for a graduate research assistant position in the US, it's usually through email. You submit your document to the professor or to the principal investigator via email, and you miss out to submit an important document, and maybe you just submitted your CV, submitted your cover letter, and maybe you didn't put proficiency in English language, which is actually an important document that can actually increase your chances of being called for interview and possibly getting the position. You see that you have already disadvantaged yourself. Some other people who submitted this complete document will be at an advantage, and you will be at a disadvantage, even if you have 9.0 band in that language proficiency test. So it's important to submit complete application. Please, I'm emphasizing on paying attention to details when making scholarship application. You can also get scholarship rejection because of incomplete information. Yes, some scholarship will tell you that they want a particular people from a particular region, okay, which I've talked about, and then but they may not tell you that they do gender balancing in their application process. Maybe they want to have 10 males and 10 females for their program, and you didn't know, they didn't announce it. You see, this is the reason why I tell people, put your gender, put your sex in your CV. it is easier for them to identify your gender so that they can make their decisions very well. You can be a very good candidate. You have a nice profile, nice CV, nice motivation letter and recommendation letter and everything. And then they just needed like 10 males to be there and they needed 10 females. And you are the 11th. You may even be the first male in terms of application package. But because they don't know your gender, they wouldn't want to make a mistake of putting someone they don't know his or her gender into the scholarship success list. So when they are reporting their what's it called? When they are giving their reports, they wouldn't know what to say. They wouldn't know whether they have 10 males and 10 females like their policy stated. Okay, so you see that it becomes difficult for them to see. And by mere looking at your picture, maybe you have your photograph on your CV. That alone does not tell your gender. Okay, so it's important that you state it clearly in your application, especially on your CV. It's an easy process. So there are also other missing information you can make during your application process. Please avoid them. Read the lines of the application very well. Each of the line, make sure you understand it very well and put in the appropriate information requested for each line. It's an important stuff. If you make mistake in some of these things, you can be getting rejection mail because it means that you are not a very careful candidate, and most scholarship, wouldn't want a very careless candidate for their program. Another one that people may take lightly is this issue of word limit. You may be thinking that word limit is nothing, and when they tell you 500 words, maybe you gotta write 510 words and think they wouldn't know. They will definitely know. That is a rule breaker, and if you do that, you are setting yourself up for rejection mail. Please, if they ask you to write one page motivation letter, pay attention to the one page. Follow the font size, follow the font style, and make sure you stick to the rule. Sticking to the rule is one of the first signs that shows that this candidate is ready. You may be that is the reason why I advise people to actually pay attention to this process. It is not something you ask people to help you to do. You have to do it yourself. Make out time for it. If it's important, you definitely pay attention to it and do it very well. Please, if they ask you to write a two-page CV, please stick to it. I know you may have 10-page CV. You have a lot of experience and all that. But if the scholarship requests for 2 pages, such as maybe that scholarship, please make sure it is 2 pages. But if the scholarship did not state 2-page CV or any the limit of your CV pages, please you can now upload as many page CV as possible. Please, these are some of the rule breakers. Scholarship bodies don't play with their rules. These rules are set for a reason, so that is why you should pay attention to them. Another thing you should know is that if a scholarship tells you, please submit only requested documents, please stick to it. It is very easy for you to overlook them. You think maybe you have research papers or you have conference papers or presentations that you did and you want to attach it to your scholarship package. These things are nice, okay? They are very nice. But if the scholarship is insisting, if the program is insisting, please they ask you maybe submit CV, submit cover letter, and then maybe submit your degree transcript. These are the three documents they are asking. Please stick to it. It is very important. Uh, if they requested for this, they have their reasons. If you didn't stick to it, it means that you are not going to stick to their rules. And rules are very important. I can't overemphasize this point. Rules are very important. So please don't submit unsupporting documents that are not requested. Okay, only submit supporting documents that are requested. If they give a room like submit supporting documents that are relevant to the program, then they have given space for you to submit maybe your publications and the rest of them. If there are your if these are your supporting documents, but if they say please stick to the documents that are requested, please stick to it. It is very important. So it tells you that you should read in between the lines. The scholarship page, read in between the lines. Okay, guys, please, if you have not liked this video, please do well to like this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe to our channel. And because of the length of our discussion today, this video will have a part two where we will continue our discussion on why you get rejected from scholarship applications. Please, if you have any comments or question, you can drop it under the comment section. If it's a compliment, fine. If it's a question, fine. And we'll definitely address all of your concerns. Until the part two of this video comes out, please I want you to remain healthy, remain fine, and please keep chasing your dreams. Okay, bye.